Ever felt like the world is against you? Like every door you knock on stays shut? Today, we're diving into a story that proves that your starting point doesn't define your destiny. This is the incredible true story of Chris Gardner, a man who went from sleeping on a public bathroom floor to the top of Wall Street. Imagine this: San Francisco, the early 1980s. A man named Chris Gardner lugs a heavy bone density scanner through the city streets. Every single day, he goes from one doctor's office to another, trying to sell this machine. It's bulky, it's expensive, and most doctors just aren't interested. He hears no over and over again. It's a relentless, soul-crushing grind. At home, things are just as tough. He has a loving wife, Linda, and a bright-eyed 5-year-old son, Christopher Jr. But the stack of unpaid bills is growing taller by the day. The scanner sales barely cover their basic needs, and the tension at home is thick enough to cut with a knife. Chris is a dreamer. He's smart, he's charismatic, but he's trapped. His wife, worn down by the constant struggle and broken promises, can't take it anymore. She decides to leave, hoping to find a better life for herself. Suddenly, Chris finds himself a single father. He has his son, his scanners, and a pocketful of almost nothing. The walls start closing in. First, they lose their apartment, then their motel room. Chris is now homeless, with a little boy who depends on him for everything. They are completely and utterly on their own. But even with the weight of the world on his shoulders, Chris Gardner has one thing that can't be taken away from him: a flicker of hope. One afternoon, a moment of pure chance changes everything. Chris sees a man parking a stunning, bright red Ferrari. The man looks successful, confident, happy. Driven by a mix of curiosity and desperation, Chris walks up to him and asks a simple question: "What do you do, and how do you do it?" The man, a stockbroker named Bob Bridges, explains his profession. In that brief conversation, a new world opens up to Chris. He doesn't know the first thing about stocks or finance, but he sees a path, a way out, a chance to build a life of dignity for him and his son. He sees the happiness he's been chasing. So he makes a decision that most people would call insane. He applies for an unpaid internship at the prestigious brokerage firm Dean Witter Reynolds. Think about that. No money, no safety net, and a son to feed. The competition is fierce: 20 ambitious interns fighting for a single paid position at the end of 6 months. The odds are stacked against him. He doesn't have a college degree, his clothes are worn, and he's literally carrying his entire life in a couple of bags. But Chris doesn't see the obstacles. He only sees the opportunity. He gets accepted into the program, a small victory that marks the beginning of his most grueling battle yet. His daily routine is a masterclass in grit. Every morning, he wakes up before dawn, gets his son ready, and drops him off at a low-cost daycare. Then he rushes to the hyper-show world of Dean Witter. He's a sponge, absorbing every piece of information, every strategy, every nuance of the trading floor. He makes phone calls relentlessly, dialing numbers with a speed and efficiency that leaves his colleagues in awe. He learns to solve a Rubik's Cube to impress a potential client, proving his intelligence and problem-solving skills in a unique way. He doesn't take lunch breaks. He doesn't take bathroom breaks. Every single second is dedicated to getting ahead. He knows he has to work twice as hard just to be considered an equal. But when the clock strikes 5 and the other interns head home, Chris's real workday begins. The search for a place to sleep. He and little Christopher race across town to a homeless shelter, hoping to get in line early enough to secure a bed. The line is always long, a silent testament to the city's hidden struggles. More often than not, they make it. But sometimes they don't. On those nights, they have to find anywhere they can. They sleep on buses, in parks, and in one of the most heartbreaking scenes of his life, they find themselves locked in a public restroom at a train station. Picture it, the cold tiled floor, the dim, flickering light. Chris cradles his sleeping son on his lap, using his coat as a blanket. He has hit rock bottom. Tears stream down his face, silent sobs in the dead of night, trying not to wake the little boy who trusts him completely. In that small, cold, lonely space, he makes a promise to himself and to his son. He will not be broken. He will not fail. This moment of absolute despair becomes the fuel for his unwavering determination. This is not the end of his story. This is where he finds the strength to rewrite it. Every morning after a night of uncertainty and fear, Chris Gardner would wake up, dust himself off, put on his best suit, his only suit, and walk back into that office with a smile. No one at Dean Witter has any idea that their most dedicated intern is homeless. He projects an image of confidence and competence, hiding the brutal reality of his life. He continues to outperform everyone. His drive is relentless. He's not just working for a job, he's fighting for his life, for his son's future. The 6 months of the internship pass in a blur of exhaustion, hunger, and unyielding focus. Finally, the day of judgment arrives. Chris is called into the office of the managing partner, Mr. J. Twistle. His heart is pounding in his chest. He walks in prepared for the worst, but hoping for the best. He has given it his absolute all. Mr. Twistle looks at him, stone-faced, and says, "Chris, wear a shirt tomorrow, okay, because you'll be working here." Chris is stunned into silence. He asks, "Was it as easy as it looked?" Mr. Twistle just smiles. The weight of the world lifts from Chris's shoulders. He manages a simple, heartfelt thank you, shaking the manager's hand. As he walks out of the office and into the bustling crowd on the street, the emotions finally hit him. Tears of relief, of joy, of triumph stream down his face. He doesn't hide them. He claps, celebrating his victory alone in a sea of strangers. That afternoon, he walks to his son's daycare, a new man. He hugs Christopher tightly and whispers, "We did it." It was the beginning of everything. Chris Gardner excelled at Dean Witt. A few years later, in 1987, he founded his own brokerage firm, Gardner Rich & Co., in his small Chicago apartment. He turned that small venture into a multi-million-dollar enterprise. He became a best-selling author and a motivational speaker, inspiring millions around the globe with his story. He never forgot the nights spent on the street or the promise he made on that bathroom floor. Chris Gardner's story is a powerful reminder that happiness is unsomething that S just handed to you. It's something you pursue with every ounce of your being. It's a testament to the power of the human spirit to overcome unimaginable hardship. It teaches us that no matter how dark your situation seems, no matter how many times you get knocked down, you have the power to get back up. Never give up on your dreams. Protect them. Fight for them. Because true success is not defined by wealth or status, but by the strength you show when you have nothing left but hope. Thank you so much for watching. If this story moved you, please hit that like button and subscribe for more inspiring content. We'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. What part of Chris's journey resonated with you the most? Stay strong, and we'll see you in the next video.